Northumbria, Northumberland. I want to let's call this an educational video. I just want to get it out there. What is the difference between these two proper nouns, Northumbria and Northumberland, these two places? Because sometimes we use interchangeably and that's a little bit misleading. I wouldn't present myself as an expert on Anglo-Saxon history, but I'm interested in it. I'm interested in all aspects of British history, actually. So in the period after Roman withdrawal, in around 410, it's a period kind of known as the Dark Ages, controversially known as the Dark Ages, partly because comparatively we know little about it compared to other eras in British history, but it's a controversial term. Perhaps a more academic and accepted term is the Heptarchy, particularly thinking of what now is England. The Heptarchy was a series of 7, as in Heptarchy, 7 Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, although some of them, including Northumbria, had proto-British origins. But the 7 kingdoms were Northumbria, Wessex, Essex, Kent, East Anglia, Mercia and Sussex. I'll just say those again: Northumbria, Wessex, Mercia, Kent, Essex, East Anglia and Sussex. Now you'll think, oh well, some of those places still exist. That's true. Essex, Kent and Sussex still exist as ceremonial counties. Sussex is now 2 counties, but nevertheless they exist as ceremonial counties. East Anglia is a region. We still know it as East Anglia, which is broadly speaking Norfolk, Suffolk and Cambridgeshire. Mercia, Wessex and Northumbria still exist in, for example, in this part of the country, Northumbria still exists in Northumbria Police. Mercia still exists in, I believe it's Mercia Ambulance Service, and that covers the Midlands region. And Wessex, of course, still exists in titles. The Duke of Wessex, the Countess of Wessex and so on. The Wessex Tales of Thomas Hardy fame. Wessex is basically corresponding to the southwest of England. Wessex is significant because Alfred the Great was of the Wessex dynasty, and it was Wessex dominance that eventually led the way to the unification of England, broadly speaking, in his reign. We don't have a single unification date for the foundation of England, but most probably it would be the late 9th century during his reign. And Scotland incidentally unified around the same time. So Northumbria was one of these kingdoms, and it broadly ranged from present day York to just south of Edinburgh. In fact, we could go a little bit beyond York, it's fair to say, probably touching on what is now the boundary of the city of Leeds, although Leeds was part of a sub-kingdom called the Kingdom of Elmet, because there were sub-kingdoms as well. Reged in present-day Cumbria is another example. Dalriada in the southwest of Scotland. So there was all these sub-kingdoms, but the 7 kingdoms of the Anglo-Saxon Heptarchy lasted from roughly 410 to roughly the Norman Conquest, and then they survived on in ceremonial place names. So that brings me to Northumberland. Now, Northumberland was one of the ceremonial counties of England. Its name is a bit more recent than Northumbria. Northumbria can trace its origins back to about the 6th century, and it's largely dissipated as a kingdom by the time of the Norman Conquest, probably significantly before that. But it still exists. We still hear about Northumbria University, Northumbria Police. Basically, it's a loose name for the northeast of England. Northumberland is a significantly smaller area, stretching from just north of Newcastle upon Tyne to the Scottish border at Berwick upon Tweed. Still a big county. I believe it's the 3rd or 4th largest county in England by area, but a lot smaller than the ancient kingdom of Northumbria. So summed up, Northumbria, ancient kingdom, covered most of northeast England and lowland Scotland. Northumberland, ceremonial county that still exists.